Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students of class 11th, अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि हम स्टेट्स ऑफ मैटर यूनिट डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। इस यूनिट में हमने देख लिया कि जो मैटर है इन आवर सराउंडिंग्स, इट एग्जिस्ट्स इन 3 states: solid, liquid and gas, though there are 2 other states, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate, but those 2 states are not present in our immediate surroundings. We discuss only those 3 states which are present in our immediate surrounding, that is solid, liquid and gas. We have seen that these 3 states, they differ in their properties, and here we had to discuss detailed properties of all the 3 states. First of all, we discuss the properties of gaseous state, which is the simplest state of matter. And this gaseous state, besides its common properties like shape, volume, compressibility, fluidity, pressure, etc., we have seen that it shows, or rather it obeys certain laws which we generally call Gauss laws, and we have discussed it in our previous lectures that these Gauss laws depend upon pressure, temperature, volume and mass of the gas. We have seen that there are different Gauss laws which we have discussed so far. We have discussed Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lusk's law, Avogadro's law, and today we are going to discuss an important law which is generally called combined gas law, or it is called as ideal gas equation. This is actually the combination of Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law. Since you know that Boyle's law, there we get volume is directly proportional to 1 by P, or volume is inversely proportional to P. That means this law gives us the effect of pressure on the volume of the gas at constant temperature. You remember it. And Charles' law gives us volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature. That means it gives us effect of temperature on the volume of the gas at constant pressure. Now, this ideal gas equation, it is the combination of Boyle's law and Charles' law, or we may say that it gives the combined effect of temperature and pressure on the volume of the gas. Combined effect of temperature and pressure on the volume of the gas. Actually, an equation is derived in which we observe what will be the combined effect of temperature and pressure on the volume of the gas. That means what will happen to the volume of the gas when both temperature and pressure is changed, because in these two laws only one quantity is changed among pressure and temperature. Suppose in Boyle's law, temperature is kept constant, pressure is changed. In Charles' law, pressure is kept constant, temperature is changed. Now when both pressure and temperature are changed, what will happen to the volume of the gas? That is given by this ideal gas equation, or which we call combined gas law. Thus, the combined gas law, or the equation ideal gas equation, it gives us the simultaneous effect of pressure and temperature on the volume of a gas. तो ऐसी इक्वेशन को हम आइडियल गैस इक्वेशन कहते हैं. तो आप लिख भी सकते हैं the equation which gives the simultaneous effect of pressure and temperature on the volume of the gas is known as ideal gas equation, or it is also called as equation of state, because this equation helps us to find the state of the substance when both temperature and pressure are changed. So this equation, how it can be now derived, let's find here. It is very easy to understand and follow. Derivation of ideal gas equation. This is actually obtained, as I have said in the beginning, that ideal gas equation is derived, or it is obtained, or it is a combined form of Boyle's law and Charles' law. So we get it by combination of Boyle's law and Charles' law. इन दो लॉज को मिला के हम ये गैस इक्वेशन डेराइव करते हैं. तो हम क्या करेंगे, लेट अस टेक ए गैस with a volume V1. Let the volume of the gas is V1 and it is changed to V2. Let the volume of the gas is changed from V1 to V2. Its pressure is changed from P1 to P2 and temperature is changed from T1 to T2. So here we have seen that pressure has also got changed, temperature has also got changed, and volume is also changing from V1 to V2. Now this change which we wish to bring about, that is, we want to change the volume of the gas from V1 to V2 when its pressure is changed from P1 to P2 and temperature is changed from T1 to T2. Let us bring this change in two separate setups. Setup first. In setup first, what we will do, let us suppose the volume of the gas is changed from V1 to V. It's not directly changed from V1 to V2, but volume is changed from V1 to V, and when pressure is changed from P1 to P2. Let us change pressure from P1 to P2 so that the volume gets changed from V1 to small v, and in the first step, let's keep the temperature constant at T1. So temperature is kept constant at T1. Pressure is changed from P1 to P2. It means volume will get changed from V1 to small v. So when temperature is kept constant, pressure is changed, volume gets changed. That means here we can apply Boyle's law. So according to Boyle's law, we know, if you remember the equation, Boyle's equation is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is Boyle's law equation. So applying this equation here, we have P1 V1 is equal to P2. Instead of V2, we have V, because we have changed the volume from V1 to V, pressure from P1 to P2. So the equation will become P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Here we will get P1 V1 is equal to P2 V. Temperature is constant. So small v will be equal to P1 V1 divided by P2. Let this is equation first. So you have seen what we have done. You see, let me show this pictorially here. We have a gas at pressure P1, temperature T1, volume V1. We want to change it such that pressure becomes P2, temperature becomes T2, volume becomes V2. But we want to bring this change in two steps. In step first, we have changed pressure from P1 to P2, volume from V1 to V, and temperature has been kept constant at T1. This is step first, which I have performed here. Since when temperature is kept constant, Boyle's law equation will apply. Now in second step, what we will do? We will keep the pressure constant at P2. Volume will be changed from small v to V2, and temperature will be changed from T1 to T2. That means in step second, temperature is changed, pressure is kept constant, volume is also changed. When volume is kept, when pressure is kept constant, temperature is changed, then we apply Charles law. We know Charles law gives us V is proportional to T, and you will get V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2 from Charles law equation. So in step second, what we have to do? We have to change volume from V to V2. Pressure will remain constant at P2. Temperature will change from T1 to T2. So when this change is brought about, that means volume is changed from V1 to V2 by changing the temperature from T1 to T2 at constant pressure. Charles law equation will apply, and according to Charles law we have V by T1, V1 by T1. Since here the initial volume is now for us, it is small v, we will get V by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. V by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. Here we can also calculate small value of V. V will be equal to V2 T1 by T2 when we will transfer this T1 to this side. So this is equation second. From equation first and equation second, we can see that left hand sides are equal. That means right hand sides will be also equal. So from equation first and second, we get what we get. We will get P1 V1 by P2 is equal to V2 T1 by T2. Now if we will rearrange this equation, rearrange the equation. Upon rearranging, what we will do? We will transfer P2 from this side to this side, T1 from this side to this side. So we will get P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P1 V1 by T1 is equal to V2 or P2 V2. When P2 is transferred to this side, we will get P2 V2 by T2. P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. This is equation third, and this is the general equation which we call gas law equation or combined gas law. This equation is very important for calculating any of the six quantities when five other quantities are given. That if you want to calculate pressure, if you are provided V1, T1, P2, V2, T2, you can calculate P1, you can calculate P2, you can calculate any quantity among these six quantities when one is unknown and other five quantities are known to us. This is a general form of combined gas law, and this equation is generally used to in different calculations. Now one thing very important which we conclude from this equation, the other form of the equation. Let me tell you that if you have understood Boyle's law, there V is proportional to 1 by P. Now if volume will be V1, pressure will be P1, then it will be V1 is proportional to 1 by P1. And the same way if volume is V2, pressure is P2, it will be 1 by V2 is proportional to 1 by P2. This is why we get their equation V1 P1 is equal to V2 P2, or we may write Vp is equal to constant. Vp is equal to If same rule is applied here, we can get PV by T. As here V1 P1 is equal to V2 P2, we write Vp is equal to constant. And the same way we can write here PV by T, because P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. So we can write PV by T is equal to constant. PV by T is equal to constant. This constant is generally, if represented by K, then we will get PV by T is equal to K. This constant K, it depends upon the number of moles, mass of the substance. Mass, in other words, it depends upon the number of moles. So K is proportional to N. K is directly proportional to N, or we may write K is equal to NR. That means R is another constant of proportionality, and it is called as universal gas constant, because the value of R for all gases, for 1 mole of the gas is same. If you take any gas, 1 mole of any gas, you will find the value of R is always same, whatever the nature of the gas. That means this R doesn't depend on the nature of the gas, it simply depends upon the amount of the gas. So this constant K can be replaced by NR. So we will get PV by T is equal to NR. Or if T is transferred here, you will get PV is equal to nRT. So this is the general form of gas equation for any number of moles of gas. If there will be only 1 mole, for 1 mole it will be PV is equal to RT. For n moles it is PV is equal to nRT. This is another form of gas equation which is very important form and is generally used in calculations, as well as whenever we are asked to derive gas equation, we reach to this conclusion: PV is equal to nRT. So this is the general gas equation. We can derive this gas equation in another way that is very simple. For example, the alternate method for the derivation of gas equation is given here. You see, you know what is Boyle's law. Boyle's law is volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at constant temperature. For a given mass of a gas at constant temperature, volume is inversely proportional to its pressure. So let it is equation first. It is Boyle's law, you know. Boyle's law. And then there is Charles' law. Charles' law says volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. That is, V is proportional to T at constant pressure. Let this equation second. Then there is third law, which is called as Avogadro's law. Avogadro's law says that volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the number of moles. Actually, we have studied equal volumes of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. That means if there are equal number of moles, they will have same volume. That is, volume is directly proportional to the number of moles. By combining these three laws, we will get V is proportional to 1 by P into T into N. V is proportional to 1 by P into T into N. Proportionality can be changed into equality sign. We have to use constant. Let that constant is R. So we will get R into P 1 by P into T into N. Or V is equal to or this P may be transferred here. It will become PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to, V is transferred to this side, we get PV is equal to nRT. So you see, this is the same equation which we have derived here from the combination of and two different combining Boyle's law and Charles' law, and here we have got the same equation in terms of combination of Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law. So this is another alternate way of calculating, deriving this ideal gas equation. So we also know that this N, number of moles of gas, see, N is equal to number of moles of gas equal to mass of the gas divided by molecular mass. So if we will use m by m in place of n, we will get PV is equal to m divided by m or T. So if this m is transferred here, you will get P, or you will use, let's do one thing. We may write P is equal to m by V. We have transferred V here, m by V into RT by m. So we will get P is equal to m by V means mass per unit volume, that's called as density. So P is called density into RT by m. So from this equation we can derive D. So D is equal to PM divided by RT. Very important equation by which we can calculate the density of the gas, or we can calculate molecular mass here. M is equal to D RT divided by P. M is equal to dRT, transfer RT here and P, you will get this equation. So by using gas equation we can calculate both density of the gas as well as molecular mass of the gas. Density as well as molecular mass of the gas. One thing more which we can find, at constant temperature and pressure. At constant temperature and pressure, if T is constant, P is constant, and we know also here R is also constant. So at constant temperature and pressure, we will get M is directly proportional to D, or D is directly proportional to M. That means density of the gas is directly proportional to the molecular mass. That means if molecular mass is high, density will be high. So that means density of the gas depends upon the molecular mass. It is also obtained from this ideal gas equation. So this is all about ideal gas equation. And here one thing more, that this R, which we call universal gas constant, this universal gas constant, it has a definite fixation. It is a constant, it has a fixed value. Its value generally depends upon the work done, the units of work done. Because you see, let me give here a brief idea regarding it. Suppose, let's come here. We know PV is equal to nRT. So if you want to find the value of R will be equal to PV divided by N, PV divided by NT. So R is equal to P is pressure into V is volume, N is number of moles, T is absolute temperature. T is temperature in kelvins. Now we know pressure is force per unit area, and volume is length into length, that is length cube, divided by moles into temperatures measured in degrees. So we will get here force divided by area. Area is equal to length into length, that's length square, into length cube divided by moles into degrees. So what will happen? Length square and square will get cancelled. You will get R is equal to force into length. Force into length divided by moles into degrees. We know force into length, F into S. Length is generally measured and represented by S in physics. So we will get R is equal to force into length, that is called as work done. Work done divided by moles into degrees. So the unit of R will be work per mole per degree. Unit of R will be work per degree per mole, work per mole per degree. So knowing the units of work, we can find the unit of R. So if R is measured, we will have different values for R. Generally, one of the units which is commonly used, there it is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. And the same way, there is another unit, 8.314 kilopascals per cubic decimeter per Kelvin per mole. Another unit for it is 0.083 bar per cubic decimeter per Kelvin per mole. So it depends upon the units of pressure and units of volume. Units of pressure and units of volume which we use here. Accordingly, we can have different values for gas constant, or generally we use this value. R is equal to 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. So this is all about the gas equation, how it is derived, and there are two important forms of this gas equation. One is PV is equal to nRT. Another important form is P1V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2V2 divided by T2. So this is all about the ideal gas equation. Thank you so much.